hiking through Meskendir Valley, one of Cappadocia's lesser-known valleys, and it quickly turned into one of our most unexpected adventures. We started our walk passing an old graveyard on the edge of the valley, where weathered stones overlook the strange volcanic landscape beyond. In Cappadocia, life and history seem layered everywhere you go. Even the cemeteries feel connected to the ancient terrain. As we descended farther into the valley, we began walking through natural archways carved by thousands of years of erosion. One of them, according to local legend, is supposedly able to turn you into a woman.
How do you
if you
feel?
walk through it.
Moody?
I'm not entirely sure how that's supposed to work, but naturally we had to test it anyway. Not long after that, nature provided another reminder that spring had definitely arrived. We came across several pairs of frogs, enthusiastically stacked on top of each other along the trail. Apparently, romance is alive and well in Cappadocia. They must have gotten lost and wandered over here from Love Valley. The deeper we went, the more signs of ancient life appeared all around us. High in the cliffs were tiny carved windows and openings where people once lived, stored food, or sheltered animals. Our host pointed out one larger complex carved into the rock that had once been a monastery, part of the long history of Christian communities that lived throughout these valleys during the Byzantine era. Towering above the valley floor were rows of tall, slender poplar trees, which are very common in Cappadocia because they grow quickly and thrive near water sources. Their height and narrow shape made the whole valley feel even more hidden and dramatic against the soft volcanic cliffs.
That one was a monastery.
Soon we passed through even larger natural archways where the rock seemed almost sculpted into giant doorways. Right about then, we encountered a barking dog who clearly wanted us to know this was his territory.
Okay, he gave us a sniff and decided to let us pass.
After a few tense moments, he decided we were acceptable visitors and allowed us to continue.
This is very cool. It kind of looks like the cave in Portugal on the coast. A little bit.
It turns out our host actually knew the dog's owner, a man who lives somewhat like a hermit up here among the caves and rock dwellings.
Okay. He's now our guide.
And somehow, after that encounter, the dog basically adopted us and became our hiking guide through the valley. Along the trail, we passed a natural spring emerging directly from the rock.
Is it a spring?
Yeah.
Oh.
A reminder of how valuable water sources would have been for the people who once lived in these isolated valleys. Not much farther on, we came across a large rectangular carving cut into the stone. Our host explained that features like this may have been burial places for important individuals, carved prominently into the rock as a sign of status or significance. Everywhere we looked, we kept spotting more pigeon houses carved into the cliffs. They were incredibly important in Cappadocia, not just for communication, but mainly because their manure was used as fertilizer for vineyards and crops in this dry landscape. At one point, we sort of lost the trail and started wandering through twisting paths trying to figure out how to escape the valley, which seems to happen to everyone eventually in Cappadocia. But after a lot of climbing, scrambling, and guessing, we finally found a steep path leading up and out of the canyon.
Would you like to try or?
What do you think? Okay, let's try. Woo! Beautiful.
Looking back over Meskendir Valley, it felt like we had just wandered through a hidden world filled with caves, legends, monasteries, and strange rock formations. But somehow Cappadocia still has even more valleys waiting for us.